Jenna from the channel Just a Little Bit Random, and I am your host for day 4. For this round, our theme is Netflix originals, and today's challenge is inspired by Shadow and Bone. Or more specifically, it's inspired by the fact the Six of Crows crew were in the first season of the TV show. For this challenge, we want you to take the Six of Crows crew, put them in another book, and see what kind of mischief they cause. If you've done an entry for today, be sure to click on the link in the description box below to head to the Google Sheet to enter the giveaway. You have until midnight on the last day of the readathon in your time zone to get your entries in, so don't stress just yet if you haven't managed to pop the Six of Crows crew into another book. You still have a little time left. For my video, I decided to put the Six of Crows crew into the world of Medora. Let's see how they did. My name is Jenna, and today I'm here to tell you all about what happened when the Six of Crows crew found themselves in the world of Medora. How do I know all this, you might ask? Well, I'm a watcher. I have the ability to watch over countless different multiverses to see how everything plays out. Because as we all know, one choice can change everything. I have been tasked with watching and chronicling these events. I'm not allowed to interfere, so everything that happened to the Six of Crows crew once they found themselves in the mystical, magical world of Medora, I wasn't able to do a thing to help them. Our story starts on a day like any other. The Six of Crows crew, which consists of Kaz, Inej, and Jasper, were trying to find a way through the fold in order to get their hands on Alina Starkov. At this stage, they don't know that their lives are about to change. To make it through the fold, they are told they need to get certain things. One of those things includes a goat named Milo, who ends up being Jasper's support animal, and in this house we stan Milo. And they get onto their little train and are making their way through the fold as if nothing was wrong. However, things don't always go to plan, as we all well know, and soon the train was shaking and shuddering, and it felt as though they were being thrown from side to side. They thought they weren't going to make it out alive because the creatures that live inside the fold were attacking the train, and all of a sudden the train tilted and they fell. The next part is where it gets a little more complicated. When they finally came to, it was to find themselves not in the fold nor in the region where they would be able to find Alina, but in a dark forest. They looked around, discovered they had no weapons, and also found that Milo the goat had gone missing. This, of course, caused many dramas. Together, they stumbled to their feet and tried to figure out where they were. It wasn't until Inej nudged Kaz in the ribs with her elbow did they notice that they weren't alone. Standing before them was a young girl around 16 years old with brown hair and a very confused expression on her face. She was soaking wet, and they realized that she was probably more scared of them than they were of her. Hi? The girl said. Where are we? Asked Jasper. He lifted his hand to his head and realized that his hat was missing. Wait, where's my hat? You were in Medora, said the girl, choosing to answer Jasper's first question. Who are you? Asked Kaz, taking immediate control as the leader of the group. What have you done with our weapons? How have you brought us here? My name is Alexandra Jennings, and I am just as confused as you are, said the young girl. I was just in my new boarding school, fell through the door to the principal's office, found myself here, met a super creepy guy, and was about to make my way to the building you can see through those trees to see if I can get any help when you three fell from the sky. People don't simply fall from the sky, said Kaz. Well, you did, said Alex with a shrug. Why don't you come with me to the building? There might be someone there who can help us. Fine, said Kaz begrudgingly. He didn't like relinquishing control. However, he didn't really have much of a choice. The four of them began to make their way towards the building they could see through the trees, but they didn't make it far before Jasper suddenly stopped. Wait, where is Milo? Milo? Asked Alex. Kaz rolled his eyes. The goat. You have a goat? He is the best boy and he's missing, said Jasper, frantically searching all around. Well, when did you last see him? Asked Alex, determined to help. On the train through the fold. The fold! Something must have happened to us in there. That's how we got here. Yeah, okay. It wasn't long before the four of them made their way down to the building, only to find that it was Akane Academy, a school for gifted students. They tried to speak to the headmaster in the hopes that he would be able to help them home, but he was missing and no one was sure when he would return. The administrator of the school, Administrator Jarvis, set them all up with class schedules and told each of them that they had been expecting them. This freaked the Six of Crows crew out a little bit. How could anyone have been expecting them? Well, I know how they could have been expected, but that's for me to know as the watcher and them to find out. By the time they had spoken to Administrator Jarvis, it was almost time to head to their rooms. I cannot believe the headmaster is missing and is the only one who can get us back from where we came from, said Alex as the four of them made their way towards the dormitories. It is problematic, agreed Kaz. And they want us to attend classes at Akane? I don't do well with class. No one was surprised to hear Jasper say so. Well, I guess we don't really have much choice, unless the three of you can think of a way we can get home faster. And this is where things started to get a little rocky for our foursome. I'm not sure why you think you are included in this we. We is myself, Jasper and Inej. We does not include you. We're all stuck here. We may as well make the most of it, said Alex, appalled that Kaz would dismiss her so easily. Don't count on it, he said, and Alex walked away, leaving the Six of Crows crew standing in the darkness. Seriously though, boss, what's the plan? We lay low, don't draw attention to ourselves, and try to find a way out of here. Inej, think you can find out more about the school and how we might be able to find this headmaster? Maybe we can go to him instead of waiting for him to return to us. We all know that Inej is fantastic at finding information, so it should come as no surprise that Kaz gave her this particular task. Sadly, she did not have her signature knives, and the only things she could find in the armory were these. Not her usual kind of knives, but she's still pretty good with them. Jasper, you need to gather intel on the other students. See if there's anyone here who might know something. And Jasper, no gambling. Their quest to find out where the headmaster was went about as well as you can probably imagine. Not great. It almost seemed as though the headmaster was nowhere to be found. They looked high, they looked low, they tried leaving the academy grounds, but found that the teachers were very good at pulling them back. The Six of Crows crew are not one to give up, but eventually they did decide to just sit back, blend in, and just participate in their classes, because that was the only thing they could really do. To absolutely no one's surprise, Inej excelled in the combat classes, Jasper was surprisingly good at the chemistry, and Kaz was good in any class that involved strategy. The three of them kept pretty much to themselves and found they weren't making a lot of friends at Akane. Alex had found herself two best friends, Jordan and Bear, and even she was keeping a wide berth from our Six of Crows crew. One afternoon, during classes at Akane, a black fog descended over the campus. This was their chance. They had no idea why the black fog was there, nor did they particularly care, but this was the time they knew they would be able to make it off of campus. However, it didn't take them long to realize there was no way they would be able to navigate their way through the black fog, and before they knew it, they were back facing the dormitory building. This is ridiculous, said Kaz, waving his arms about indignantly. We have to find a way back. Inej said nothing, though she clutched at the knives she carried on her waist despite students of Akane not being allowed to carry weapons. Cool it, boss, said Jasper. We'll find a way out of here. I know we will. Kaz fixed him with a deadpan stare. You just want to get out of here because you're worried that something might have happened to Milo. Jasper didn't try to deny it. Later that evening, they ambushed Alex and her friends, demanding to know if they knew anything about the black fog that had descended over the campus. Jordan and Bear were reluctant to share information, but Alex was more than happy to let them know what she'd found. Turns out the creepy guy she had met was actually someone that they should all avoid. Quite a few months went past, and it looked as though the Six of Crows crew were never getting home. Eventually, they found their way to the library. They'd heard rumors from Alex that the library might have a way to send them home, as it had given her a choice about whether she wanted to remain in Medora or head back to her own world. The three of them studied the library for weeks, and eventually they found their way through the depths and came face to face with Sir Cadogan, a knight who protected the halls of the library. They tried to convince him to show them the way home, but he absolutely refused. It wasn't until he heard a commotion that something changed his mind. The group looked up in time to see the creepy dude that Alex had been talking about, dragging Alex's roommate through the hallway. Alex came by not much later and asked the Six of Crows crew if they would help her. Here's the thing about the Six of Crows crew. They really only like to do things when there's something in it for them. Alex couldn't give them that, but Avon could. They bumped into Avon in the halls of the library. He told them in no uncertain terms that he was in charge and he would be king of he would rule all of Medora. Is that so? Said Kaz, looking Avon up and down. You don't seem all that impressive. Avon, of course, was not one to be insulted. How dare you? He said. Inej clutched her knives and held them out in front of her. Don't even think about it, she said, uttering some of the first words she had spoken to anyone outside of their little crew throughout the entire time they'd been in Medora. Avon smiled. I could use the three of you on my team, he said. Kaz laughed. We don't need a team. We've got each other. Avon rolled his eyes. Get it, you're a crew. No one particularly cares. All I care about is ruling Medora, and all you care about, I'm told, is making it home. I can make that happen. Kaz looked at the others. Getting home was all they'd wanted. What do we have to do? Asked Kaz. Simple, said Avon. get Alex to open a doorway. This is where you'd hope that the Six of Crows crew would see that Avon is nothing but evil and not force Alex to open a doorway. It's also the moment that as a watcher, I wish I could intervene. I wish nothing more than being able to stand in front of them and say, stop, this is the wrong path. You are heading down a road you don't want to go down. But as a watcher, that is not my place. My place is to observe and record. The Six of Crows crew took Avon up on his offer. They forced Alex to open a door. Actually, they forced her to open two. One to her world and one to theirs. They walked through without a second glance, not caring what happened to Medora or her world. And what happened to Medora and her world were not good things. Avon wiped out her planet and came back to rule over all of Medora. There was nothing Alex nor anyone else could do to stop him. It was too late and he was too powerful. The Six of Crows crew, when they returned to their own world, found that Alina had disappeared and it was up to them to find her. But that is a story for another day. I am the Watcher. I am tasked with observing and recording events that take place in a multitude of different multiverses. I am tasked with watching and recording what happens in a number of different multiverses. In this one, we see what happened if the Six of Crows crew found themselves in Medora. Nothing really changes for Kaz, Inej, or Jasper, but everything changed for Alex and her friends. Thank you guys so much for watching. I had so much fun imagining what the Six of Crows crew would do when faced with the world of Medora, considering it's like magic but not, so it's kind of like the Grisha but not. I feel like there are slight similarities between the two, but mostly I just think that they would thrive in combat, suck at academia, and just want to get home. Don't forget, if you've done an entry for today, make sure you click on the link in the description box below to enter our giveaway, because we absolutely want to see your videos. Thank you so much for watching, and don't forget to subscribe to this channel so you don't miss Day 5's challenge coming tomorrow. Bye!